Imagine you are just settling into your favorite chair for a quiet evening. Suddenly, without any warning, a giant hand reaches down from the ceiling and starts vigorously rubbing your hair. You didn't see it coming. You didn't ask for it, and it feels a bit overwhelming. Then, a booming voice starts shouting something in a language you don't understand, and the floor begins to vibrate with a high-pitched mechanical whine. For us, that sounds like a horror movie. But for many dogs, this is just a regular Tuesday afternoon in their own living room. We often assume that because our dogs have a roof over their heads and a full bowl of kibble, they automatically feel like they're in a fortress of solitude. But the truth is much more subtle. A dog's sense of safety isn't built on furniture or treats. It's built on predictability, respect for their boundaries, and the emotional climate of the home. Today, we are uncovering 12 common things that make dogs feel insecure, anxious, or even trapped in their own houses. From the way we use our voices to the invisible household noises we ignore, we are breaking down why your pup might be looking for the exit even when the door is locked. If you want a dog that truly relaxes with all four paws in the air, you need to understand the hidden stressors that are keeping them on edge. Let's get into the behaviors and environments that are silently breaking your dog's sense of security. The first thing that makes a dog feel unsafe is a complete lack of a safe zone that is strictly off-limits to humans. Think about it. Everyone needs a place where they can go to be completely alone, where nobody is going to poke them, prod them, or try to play with them. For a dog, this is usually their crate or a specific bed in a quiet corner. The mistake many families make, especially those with children, is allowing people to invade that space. If your dog goes to their bed to escape the noise of a dinner party and someone follows them there to give them hugs, the dog suddenly feels trapped. They realize there is nowhere in the house where they are truly off the clock. When a dog feels they have no escape route, their stress levels skyrocket. They might start growling or snapping, not because they're mean, but because they feel they have to defend their only sanctuary. To fix this, you need to implement a hands-off rule for their safe spot. If the dog is in the crate or on their specific rug, they are invisible. This one change can lower a dog's baseline anxiety almost overnight because they know that safety is always just a few steps away. Moving on to number 2. We have the unpredictable emotional climate of the house. Dogs are like emotional sponges. They don't just hear our words, they feel the tension in our muscles and the vibe of the room. If there is a lot of shouting, door slamming, or general high-stress energy in your home, your dog is going to live in a state of hypervigilance. They don't know that you're just stressed about a work project or an argument with a neighbor. They just know that the leader of the pack is unstable. To a dog, an unstable leader means the whole den is at risk. They might start hiding, shaking, or ironically, acting out to get your attention. If the home environment feels like a thunderstorm that could break at any moment, the dog will never feel truly safe. Training yourself to be calm and assertive, even when you're stressed, tells your dog that the world is still spinning correctly. When the human is the anchor, the dog can finally let their guard down. Number 3 is a big one that people often overlook, and that is staring and looming. In the human world, we lean over things we like. We bend down to kiss a child or look closely at a beautiful flower. But in the canine world, leaning over a dog and staring into their eyes is a signature of a threat. If you're a big human and you constantly stand over your dog, blocking their light and staring at them while you talk, you are putting them in a defensive frame of mind. This is especially true if you do it while they are eating or playing with a toy. They feel physically overwhelmed. To make them feel safer, try sideways body language. Squat down a few feet away, look slightly to the side, and let them come to you. By removing the looming factor, you are telling the dog that you respect their physical space. It shifts the dynamic from confrontation to connection. Next up is number 4, a household soundscape. We often become deaf to the sounds of our own homes, the beeping of the microwave, the high-pitched hum of the vacuum, the sudden roar of the garbage disposal, or the loud television. But a dog's hearing is significantly more sensitive than ours. Certain frequencies that we barely notice can actually be physically painful or deeply startling to them. If the house is a constant barrage of unpredictable, loud noises, the dog starts to view the home as a minefield of sounds. They might become hesitant to enter certain rooms or start shaking when they see you pick up the vacuum cleaner. To help them feel secure, Try to create predictable noise patterns. Give them a treat before you turn on a loud appliance, or move them to a different room where the sound is muffled. Creating a buffer of white noise or calm music can also help drown out the scary household beep clashes that keep them awake at night. Number 5 is something almost every owner is guilty of at some point, and that is forced physical affection. We love our dogs, so we want to hug them, kiss their faces, and cuddle them on the sofa. But for many dogs, being held feels like being restrained. In a dog's mind, if they are being hugged, they cannot run away if a threat appears. It's a loss of exit strategy. Have you ever noticed your dog licking their lips, yawning, or showing whale eye while you're hugging them? Those are clear signals that they feel unsafe and restricted. While some dogs learn to tolerate or even enjoy it, many are secretly counting the seconds until you let go. To build real safety, practice consent-based petting. Pet them for 3 seconds, then stop and move your hand away. If they nudge you or lean in, they want more. If they look away or move a few inches, they've had enough. When a dog knows they can vote on how much they are touched, they will actually trust you more and seek you out more often. Number 6 is the slippery floor syndrome. This sounds like a minor physical issue, but for a dog, it's an environmental hazard. If your home is full of hardwood or tile and your dog is constantly slipping, sliding, or having trouble standing up, they are living in a state of physical insecurity. Imagine if every time you walked through your kitchen, the floor felt like it was made of ice. You would be tense, you would move slowly, and you would be constantly worried about falling. This physical instability leads to mental instability. Older dogs in particular can become very fearful of certain rooms because they associated them with the pain or confusion of a fall. By putting down area rugs or runner mats in high-traffic areas, you are literally grounding your dog. When their paws feel solid on the earth, their mind feels much more secure. A stable floor leads to a stable dog. Moving on to number 7, inconsistent rules and boundaries. Dogs are pattern-seeking animals. They want to know exactly what is expected of them. If you let them on the bed on Friday night, but then scold them for it on Saturday because you just put on clean sheets, the dog feels like the ground is shifting beneath them. They don't have the concept of clean sheets. They only see that the person they trust is acting unpredictable. Inconsistency breeds anxiety because the dog never knows if they are about to be rewarded or corrected. This makes them feel on edge in their own home. To make them feel safe, you have to be the most boring, predictable person in the world. If the rule is no paws on the counter, it must be the rule every single day, regardless of your mood. When the rules are clear as day, the dog can finally relax because they understand the social contract of the house. Number 8 is the scent of a stranger. We often bring new smells into the house without thinking. Scented candles, strong perfumes, new laundry detergents, or the smell of other animals on our clothes. For a creature that navigates the world primarily through their nose, a sudden scent invasion can make the home feel alien. High-intensity artificial fragrances can be overwhelming to their sensitive olfactory system and can actually mask the familiar, comforting smells of the family. If the house smells like perfume instead of home, the dog might feel like a guest in their own space. Additionally, using strong chemicals to clean their bedding can strip away their own familiar scent, which is a major source of comfort for them. To maintain a sense of safety, try to keep the scent profile of the house consistent and use pet-safe, unscented products whenever possible. Let the house smell like the people who live in it. Next is number 9, the lack of mental enrichment. A dog who has nothing to do is a dog who starts looking for things to worry about. If your dogs spend all day staring at the wall or waiting for the door to open, they become hyper-attuned to every little noise outside. They start guarding the house not out of duty, but out of compulsion and boredom. This creates a high-alert state where the dog never actually rests. They are essentially unemployed and stressed. By providing interactive toys, sniffing games, or food puzzles, you are giving their brain a job. When a dog is mentally tired, they feel a sense of satisfaction that allows them to sink into a deep, restorative sleep. A busy brain is a peaceful brain. When you give them things to do inside the house, they start to view the house as a playground rather than a prison. Number 10 is the giant reflection. Have you ever seen your dog bark at a full-length mirror or a glass door at night? To them, that isn't a reflection, it's a stranger who is mirroring their every aggressive move. If your home has mirrors at a dog's eye level, or if they can see their own silhouette in a dark window, they might feel like the home is being invaded. This is especially common in certain breeds with high territorial drives. They can't relax because they're constantly watching that other dog in the glass. Simply covering the bottom of a glass door at night or moving a mirror can remove a massive source of secret stress. It's about curating the view. If they don't have to worry about a ghost dog in the hallway, they can focus on sleeping. Number 11 is the lack of a routine. We touched on consistency with rules, but time consistency is just as important. Dogs have a very accurate internal clock. They know when it's time for breakfast, when the mail arrives, and when you're supposed to come home from work. If your schedule is completely chaotic, feeding them at 6 a.m. one day and 10 a.m. the next, or walking them at midnight one night and not at all the next, the dog loses their anchor in time. They feel like they are constantly waiting for the next thing to happen, which keeps their nervous system in a yellow light state of readiness. A solid routine is like a safety blanket. It tells the dog, you don't have to worry, everything is happening exactly when it should. Even if your life is busy, try to keep the major pillars of the day, meals, and the final potty break at the same time. That predictability is the bedrock of a dog's comfort. Finally, number 12 is the heavy overhead reach. This is a classic human mistake. When we want to pet a dog, we usually reach over the top of their head. From a dog's perspective, a large limb coming down from above looks like a predator's move. It blocks their vision and makes them feel trapped under your hand. Many dogs will duck their heads or blink when you reach for them this way. Those are signs of discomfort. To make them feel safe, always pet from below. Offer your hand palm up, let them sniff it, and then scratch them under the chin or on the chest. By staying below their eye line, you are showing that you have no intention of dominating or overpowering them. It's a polite, canine-first greeting that makes them feel like a respected member of the family, rather than a subject to be handled. Why do these small things add up to such a big feeling of insecurity? Because a dog's house is their entire world. Most pet dogs spend 90% of their lives within the same four walls. If those four walls are filled with slippery floors, loud beeps, unpredictable rules, and looming humans, the dog's world becomes a very stressful place. Chronic stress in dogs leads to a suppressed immune system, shorter lifespans, and a host of behavioral issues like separation anxiety or resource guarding. When a dog feels unsafe, they stop being dogs and start being reactors. They are just trying to survive the day. But when a dog feels safe, you see a different creature entirely. You see the sigh of contentment we talked about in previous videos. You see the soft eyes. You see a dog who can sleep through a thunderstorm or a vacuum cleaner because they trust that their human has everything under control. Building this safety isn't about buying the most expensive orthopedic bed. It's about emotional intelligence. It's about looking at your living room through a pair of eyes that are 12 inches off the ground. Think about the crate or the safe spot again. If you have guests over and your dog goes to their crate, tell your guests, that is his office and he's busy right now. Don't let anyone pet him into a corner. By being the enforcer of their boundaries, you are proving to your dog that you are a reliable protector. That one action builds more trust than 1,000 treats ever could. And what about the slippery floors? If you have an older dog who is struggling, go to the store and buy some cheap yoga mats or rubber runners. Line the path from their bed to the water bowl. Watch their face when they realize they can walk without fear. You will see their posture change. You will see their tail lift. It's a physical manifestation of a mental shift. You have restored their dignity and their safety. The noise factor is also something you can manage today. If your dog is afraid of the vacuum, don't just force them to get used to it. That's called flooding, and it actually makes the fear deeper. Instead, put them in another room with a high-value chew toy before you start cleaning. Make the scary noise a signal for awesome stuff. Over time, the sound of the vacuum becomes a dinner bell rather than a siren. You are rewiring their brain from danger to opportunity. The inconsistent rules are arguably the hardest thing for humans to fix because we are emotional creatures. We want to cuddle the dog on the bed when we're feeling lonely, but we want them off the bed when we're feeling clean. But we have to be leaders first and friends second. If you want to change a rule, do it slowly and formally. Don't make the dog guess. Clarity is the highest form of kindness in the animal kingdom. Think about the looming and the overhead reach. Try to spend one whole evening living at their level. Sit on the floor. See how big the furniture looks. See how fast a human foot looks when it's walking past your face. See how loud the refrigerator hums when your ear is on the ground. This perspective shift will stay with you. It will make you move more slowly, speak more softly, and pet more under the chin. Building a safe home is a continuous process. Houses change, we get new furniture, we move in new people, we bring home new gadgets. Every change is a potential stressor for your dog. Your job is to be the translator. When the new smart fridge starts making a weird noise, look at your dog, give them a calm wink, and toss them a treat. Tell them, it's okay, I know about the noise, it's not a threat. By acknowledging the stressor and then dismissing it with a calm energy, you are helping them filter the world. We also have to talk about the scent of a stranger on a deeper level. If you've been at a friend's house who has a cat or another dog, your dog knows as soon as you walk in. For some resource-protective dogs, this can be very upsetting. Change your clothes before you greet your dog if you've been rolling around with other animals. It sounds extreme, but for a dog who feels insecure, it removes a massive question mark from their brain. It says the pack is still only us. The reflection in the glass is a classic example of a fixed problem. Put a little bit of frosted window film on the bottom of that glass door. Suddenly, the ghost dog vanishes. The dog's brain resets. They stop patrolling the hallway and start napping in it. It's a mechanical fix for an emotional problem. Our dogs don't have many ways to tell us they feel unsafe. They don't have anxiety journals or therapists. They have body language and behavior. If your dog is acting out, hiding, or pacing, don't look at it as a behavioral problem to be corrected. Look at it as a symptom to be diagnosed. Ask, what in this house is making my friend feel like they need to be on guard? The 12 things we walked through today are the usual suspects. 90% of household anxiety comes from one of these boxes. By checking them off, one by one, you are doing the real work of a pet parent. You are creating a haven. In a world that is fast, loud, and unpredictable, your dog deserves a place where they can sigh with their eyes fully closed. A safe dog is a healthy dog. They have lower heart rates, better digestion, and a stronger connection to their humans. When you remove the threats, you allow the love to take up all the space. You'll find that a dog who feels safe at home is more vibrant, more playful, and more attentive during training. You aren't just making them comfortable, you are unlocking their best self. Remember the consent-based petting? Try it tonight. It is the most eye-opening experiment you can do. You might realize that your dog actually likes a 3-minute session rather than a 10-minute one. And by respecting that, you will find that they come back to you more frequently. Autonomy is the key to security. The scent, the sound, the floor, and the rules. These are the 4 walls of a dog's mental house. Keep them familiar, predictable, stable, and clear. When those 4 walls are strong, the dog doesn't have to worry about the storm outside. They are home in every sense of the word. As you go about your week, try to narrate the house from your dog's perspective. Okay, the vacuum is coming out, let's go to the safe room. Okay, the mailman is here, let's have a quick distraction game. Okay, I'm feeling stressed. Let's take 5 minutes of deep breathing before I pet the dog. This mindfulness is the secret sauce of great pet owners. The bond between a human and a dog is one of the most beautiful interspecies alliances on the planet. But it's an asymmetrical relationship. We have all the power. We control the food, the walks, the environment, and the social rules. With that power comes the responsibility to ensure that the being in our care feels secure. A safe home is not a perfect home. It's okay if things get loud occasionally. It's okay if you forget the routine once in a while. The goal is to make the average day a safe day. If the baseline is security, your dog can handle the outliers. They can handle the scary fireworks or the sudden move because their foundation with you is solid. The 12 things that make dogs feel unsafe are just data points for you to consider. Every dog is different. Some don't mind the vacuum but hate the reflection. Some love the slippery floors but can't handle the overhead reach. Your job is to be the canine detective. Observe, adjust, repeat. By creating a safe haven, you are giving your dog the ultimate gift. You are giving them a life without fear. And in exchange, they will give you a level of loyalty, companionship, and unfiltered joy that you can't get anywhere else. It is the best trade in history. So, tonight, when you walk through that door, move a little slower. Lower your voice. Pet them under the chin, and maybe, just maybe, go lay a rug over that slippery spot in the hallway. Your dog's heart will thank you. Final thought. A house is made of wood and stone, but a home is made of safety. Make sure your dog is truly home with you. Stay observant, stay calm, and keep being the safety anchor they need. Your best friend is looking up at you, waiting to trust the world. Let's make that world worth trusting.